A victim left bound, while the killer seems to vanish into thin air. How was it done? Can Father Brown uncover the truth hidden within the chaos of the room? This is the Retold Files. We condense classic masterpieces so you can still hear a great story in just a fleeting moment. Dr. Orion Hood's consulting rooms stood along the Scarborough seafront. A long row of tall windows faced the North Sea, turning the ocean into something that felt less like nature and more like architecture, a single unbroken wall of blue-green stone. Inside, everything was arranged with absolute precision. The room was not bare. There was comfort. There was even beauty. But everything had its place, and nothing ever seemed allowed to leave it. Cigars were stacked by strength. Liquor bottles stood at identical levels, as if measured daily. Poetry shared the shelves with medical texts, yet even the poems felt supervised. Dr. Hood treated his study less like a home and more like a public institution. Order was not a preference, it was a principle. Dr. Hood paced slowly across the room. He looked exactly like his surroundings suggested, controlled, alert, disciplined, a man who believed the world could be understood if it were classified carefully enough. Then fate, apparently amused, opened the door. A small, round man entered, struggling with his hat and umbrella as if they were hostile objects. The umbrella slipped, the hat fell. Yet the man smiled throughout. "My name's Brown," he said cheerfully. "I hope you'll excuse me. I've come about the McNabs. I hear you sometimes help people with difficulties." Dr. Hood stared at him. "I think you may be mistaken," he replied coolly. "My work is scientific. I occasionally advise the police, but I do not handle domestic matters." "Oh, this is very serious," Father Brown said brightly. "Her mother won't let them get engaged." Something between irritation and amusement crossed Dr. Hood's face. "You see," Father Brown continued, "Maggie McNab and young Todd Hunter wish to be married. Surely that's important." Dr. Hood laughed despite himself. "Very well," he said at last. "I will listen. I have nothing else planned this afternoon." Father Brown explained. Mrs. McNab was a widow who rented rooms near the edge of town. Her daughter, Maggie, wished to marry their lodger, James Todd Hunter. Mrs. McNab refused. Todd Hunter had money. No one knew how he earned it. He worked behind a locked door. Stories grew. People claimed to hear two voices in his room. Others spoke of a tall man in a silk hat appearing from the sea mist and vanishing again. And there was always the locked box in the corner. Dr. Hood listened politely, already forming theories. Before he could finish speaking, the door burst open. Maggie McNab rushed in, breathless. "James has been attacked," she said. "I heard them arguing again, two voices. I looked through the window. He was on the floor, tied up." Dr. Hood stood at once. "This is different," he said. They hurried through the streets toward the McNab house. The town thinned out as they walked. Houses stood farther apart. The sea darkened beside them. Mrs. McNab met them, frantic. Dr. Hood forced open Todd Hunter's door. The room told a violent story. Playing cards scattered everywhere, 2 wine glasses on a table, one shattered on the floor. A long decorative blade lay near the window. A tall silk hat had rolled aside, and in the corner, James Todd Hunter, bound hand and foot, a scarf across his mouth. His eyes were open, alert. Dr. Hood stepped forward, picked up the silk hat, and placed it carefully on Todd Hunter's head. It slid down almost to his shoulders. "Mr. Glass's hat," he said. Dr. Hood explained at length. Mr. Glass, he concluded, was tall, elderly, fond of drink, and likely a blackmailer. Tudhunter, by contrast, was respectable, secretive, and therefore vulnerable. The ropes, he said, were part of a staged struggle. Father Brown listened quietly, then suddenly leaned forward. "Oh," he said softly, "he's laughing." Father Brown turned to the others. "There is no Mr. Glass," he said gently. Dr. Hood objected at once. "Then whose hat is this?" "It belongs to Mr. Tudhunter," Father Brown replied. "Not a hat he wears, a hat that is his." And slowly the truth unfolded. Tudhunter was not a criminal. He was a performer, a conjurer, a ventriloquist, a juggler. The cards were for tricks, the glasses for practice, the blade for swallowing, the ropes for escape acts. The second voice was his own, and Mr. Glass was never a man at all. When Tudhunter practiced juggling, he counted aloud. 1, 2, Mr. Glass. 1, 2, Mr. Glass. Silence. Then laughter. Tudhunter calmly freed himself, stepped forward, and produced a printed bill. Zaladin, world-famous conjurer, opening Monday night. Dr. Hood stared. Father Brown smiled. The sea murmured outside, unchanged.
Looking forward to Father Brown's next adventure? Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.